so my family, the last name of Nunnally, homesteaded in on the what was known as the Flathead Reservation in the Polson area around 1900, and they didn't do very well. They were given out, if I remember right, 80-acre parcels of land, and there were like 3 brothers, which would have been my great-grandfather and his brothers, and they took a hold of some land out west of town, about 15 miles, a little town that was called Radio. It actually had a P.O. box at one time, from what I've been told. It doesn't exist anymore. But I think right before World War One, they walked off of their land and kind of came into town, and then I know they went off to build dams across the Northwest. I had an uncle that ended up retiring from the project in the Dalles, Oregon. But my family, my dad remained here for a lot of years, and I was born in '63, and that would have made me a 4th generation Montanan. Not 4th generation born, but 4th generation living here.
Right.
3rd generation born, I guess. And so I've had a son, and now this is my grandson. So he would be a 5th.
Right. And
6th generation.
This is not your first time here, but you were here when?
Yeah, it's just been a long time. I can't remember for sure, but it's kind of ridiculous that you grow up here. It's kind of in your backyard, and you drive by, and it's like, oh, I should stop in there one of these days. And we just never took the time. But today is his 10th birthday, and we wanted to go do something fun and kind of get away from the smoke. And so we drove up from Missoula to check out the Miracle of America Museum. And I talk with Gil once in a while on Facebook, just message with him and ask different questions about what's going on. So I've been following him, and it's been so intriguing. And we come up here and boat on Flathead Lake, so when you're boating, you never want to take the time to go to the museum. Right. But now's a good time, early fall, come up here and check this out.
Right.
It's fantastic so far, and I think we've barely scratched the surface. That's amazing. I just looked over there, and I grew up as a little kid, Betcher Park, and we used to buy what was called a tiger blood snow cone out of that thing. It was owned by the Grant family.
This very thing?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I want to say it was called Fun Food or something like that. I can't remember, but they used to park it down at Betcher Park, which is below the golf course, and that was our swimming hole. We swam down there pretty much every day of our lives throughout the summer.
Okay.
But it was nothing for us to hop on our bikes and by ourselves right over to your friend's house.
Hang out for a while.
And you couldn't do anything wrong in this town because everybody knew who you were. And they knew your parents, so if you're going to get in trouble, they're going to tell on you. But that was a great thing about growing up in a small town. And it's grown and it's changed and stuff. But Gil has brought it all right here for us to kind of walk down memory lane. So it's a cool thing. I think at my age, you tend to get a little more sentimental and take in some of the old memories.
What do you think some of the important things about the museum is, or what it means to this area and maybe the U.S. At whole?
That is such a profound question, because I'll tell you, walking in, one of the first things I made observance of is Gil is such a patriot, and he's got a demonstration of how we're founded as a free country on a morals basis and really a biblical basis. And if you go too far to the right, you're into anarchy. If you go too far to the left, you're into dictatorship and tyranny. Exactly. That was, and you walk in, and that gives you a whole taste of what you're about to see. And then you walk on through into the military portion. And my dad was a World War II vet. He went down to Pearl Harbor after it had been bombed. But, I heard him tell stories about the devastation down there and about the work that he did. And so I see those things that are relatable to me, even though my dad was 40 years old when he had me. So there was a pretty good gap. It wasn't like I was right at the end of the baby boom. But Gil putting that together in the way that he has, I had no idea walking through the front door I was going to see stuff like I've seen already. And like I say, I think we might be a quarter of the way through the museum by now. I have 5 more grandsons. His older brother is 12 and the youngest one is 2. And I'll make a personal commitment of taking these guys through here just so they can see not only their own personal history, but the history of a great country that's my biggest fear right now, and everything that's going on in this country is what kind of world are these guys going to have to grow up in? It breaks my heart because I love these guys dearly, and they don't deserve that.
Thank you for saying that.
They don't deserve the tax debt, for one thing. So we got to get it under control, but we've got to teach them, and they don't get that in public school. So I'm doing Grandpa's job. Teach him his heritage and his history.
You're doing an awesome job.
Thank you.
It's a big passion here. I mean, would you say it's pretty infectious?
That's a really good word for it. Absolutely infectious. I'm wondering how I have to have him back in town, in a couple hours.
Right.
And I don't think we're going to make it all the way through.
We're gonna let you go then.
Yeah, we'd be here all
great.
day.
Thank you, man.
But, we'll come back again. Yeah. Thanks for
Appreciate
talking. It was fun.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to the Miracle of America Museum.